Today is going to be a fun stream. I feel like that's becoming a common starter that I say, but it's because I wholeheartedly believe that today's just going to knock everyone's socks off. So, from the top, let's go ahead and shout out my new friends. I made friends today. I have been really taking to heart not drafting TikToks. I think that riding the engagement has been helpful. And so when I come up with a content idea, I make it and then I post it. Because I was given the green light to do so, and I think it has made everything a lot better and more fun. That being said, there's the trend right now that is like, the format is when the devil couldn't catch me or like couldn't get to me, so he, and then it's like you include something like, so he like, I don't know, made me a Crocs ambassador that is afraid of like, I don't know, showing my feet. I literally don't know. Something like that. That's like a bad format. It's probably something like, here's a good one. I've seen different variants of this like everywhere. Like when the devil couldn't get to me, so he sent me like an emotionally unavailable brunette. Like something like that, right? Where the vibe is like you just air out a grievance basically. And this is the perfect segue. I'm like fluffing my bangs. I drafted one and then I let it come out of the drafts pretty quickly. That is when the devil couldn't reach me, so he made me a social media manager that wakes up some days unable to stomach the idea of being perceived. And this is the audio, right? So it's perfect. And that is kind of a good segue into our rebrand, right? Because that honesty, that sort of online humor that is turning into, I don't know. It's going to be hard for me to not just really use too many words and be overly analytical with it. But that is sort of the corner we are trying to turn. So with that, let me show you the first stab I took at rebranding. Here we are. So this is kind of where we were at. Once again, I can never remember if you can see my cursor, but if you look top left corner, those are different variants of the font we were using. We've got this color scheme over on the side. I didn't stray too far from what we were using. I just sort of added different colors, added a gradient because I love a gradient. And then I started working with some of this stuff. I loved the idea of having a standalone logo and then a unique font, right? As one does in logo creation. Here's some of the screenshots I have, talking through like what Driven Catalyst means to the owners of the company. And so this is a catalyst reaction. Once again, I am reminding you that I know not a single thing about science. So that is a Google search screenshot, right? As expected. And then this is, we all know it, some of us love it. It is the Maps app. Map app, map app, map app, map app. Yeah! Right? And so that again, like playing on the word driven, going places, sense of motion, there being a destination, all of that gobbledygook that when people get into brand philosophy and what the brand means to you, we start throwing around. And I can't even make fun of it because you know what? I am the most serious, unserious person ever. I try so hard to be chill, to be unserious, to be silly goofy, but truly I think what it is I am too earnest to ever not be serious. Hypothetically speaking, you know, in like movies, people are like, I'm not really looking for anything serious. I would hypothetically have a paragraph drafted in the Notes app explaining, I'm not really looking for anything serious, but I just really want to be open and honest and candid about that fact that I'm not really looking for anything. And so by the end of it, it's a dissertation that I've written, and it's in the Notes app. And hypothetically, I've just taken the most serious approach to being unserious and casual. That's me. So with that, I can say all I want, and I can poke fun all I want about overthinking brand concepts and wanting the brand to be more meaningful than like over bloated philosophy about the brand, right? But at the end of the day, if there's a will, there's a way, and if there's a rhyme, there's a reason. Am I right, baby? Yes. So let me show you the chef's kiss culmination of the new direction that I hope to steer the Driven Catalyst branding in. I am debating right now whether or not I want to turn the light on, or turn the light off that is on. One of these days, I will get gaff tape and cover up the sensor. That day is not today, though, and I think I am going to get up, and I will be right back. Play some elevator music in your heads, please. And she's back. Who missed me? I realized I never finished my story either about TikTok earlier. So I posted that TikTok about like sometimes you wake up and you are a social media manager and you're having a day where you just like do not want to be perceived. And I have always had this feeling because, again, I don't think that anything I go through or have gone through is unique, right? I don't know. I'll speak for myself only. Generally, like, I think we can all relate to each other a lot more in the human experience than, like, your gut instinct is to believe that you can when you feel down and out and, like, upset, right? And so I had this hunch that, like, hey, what if I said how I felt? What if I shared my feelings? Maybe I think other people feel the same way. And I got to have that experience today with our brand account, which is so fun. It's not fun, but it's fun. It's nice. It's cathartic. So I posted that, and like some sweet people were in the comment section. And so I responded back, and it was fun. And it's always fun to have moments as someone running a brand page where like you are having a human to human interaction and like you respond in a way that feels like, hey, wait, this feels like in line with our company branding too. And I like feel like I know what to say back. And this feels organic in a way that feels good. And that is the tone I want to take with this shift in branding. So, because, once again, I, as someone who is very serious about silly things, was in, can you guess it? Like, I bet anyone could guess. What is something that, like, is so unserious? To the point of being a meme on Twitter. Ding, ding, ding. Yes, that's right. I heard improv comedy from the audience. I was very, very, very serious about improv. In high school, even. Yeah, they started me young. And in high school, I was taught improv by someone who double majored in philosophy in college. And so he taught it to us as such. And I'm so grateful for that because it has given me, like, as all this discourse online has risen up about, like, punching down in comedy and all of that discourse, like kind of the foundation I was taught to approach comedy and just performance as a concept was to think about it from like a core of truth, that like there's truth in comedy, and kind of if you use that as your guiding light, things are going to be better than they would be if you were not doing that. So again, that's like at the root of this, I think, right? Because when we were getting together and having meetings about what is our brand identity, and I was kind of explaining, hey, I think we need one. The idea of nailing down like what is true to us. My favorite podcast right now is Eagle 9 Locked. My second favorite podcast is So True from Caleb Heron, and every episode he asks, what is something that is so true to you? And it always starts a good conversation, because either someone is earnest about it and they give their answer and it leads into a conversation about kind of what's going on in someone's life or what's important to them at the moment, or they say something that's so true to them and it's just sort of short and quick and dirty, like I always say, and it's like funny because it's true, because it's relatable, because we can connect, right? I feel like a lot of times, and this is what Hannah Gadsby got into with her special, I can't remember what it was, but the thesis statement was, I'm leaving comedy, and she was talking about tension and how stand-up builds tension. And not to be too lengthy with this, but I think that's true. I think like a lot of that tension comes from saying something and bracing yourself for whether or not you're going to be hung out to dry, or if that's a moment of human connection that's going to happen. And a lot of the laughter comes from the release when that connecting happens, right? So I have to figure out how to roll all of that into a logo. Not quite all of it, but let's look at my vision board, right? So when thinking about the brand, I realized at the heart of kind of everything we've made is this sense of nostalgia, is this sense of kind of fatherly cynicism that is not dark, but honest, right? Again, it's that honesty. And that is not unlike what is relevant and trending, right, on TikTok and in my generation, right? Because we have a generational gap right now between the people that are between the creatives at this company. There's me, and there are my two bosses. And as I have explained, Remy and George are dads, and I am not a dad. So, but the dad shoes, mom jeans. It's all the rage, baby. And that is the stab I'm taking at the branding. So I have just put together some things that I found on Pinterest. We've got Garfield. Garfield is like the vibe check to me. This is Gatsby, and Garfield is my green light, right? I've got one of those cool patches from like utility shirts. We've got a hat, a dad hat, if you will, that says I just work here. Got a cutesy vintage plumbing company brand logo. I wish I had thought to screenshot what account posted that on Pinterest to like shout them out, but yeah. And then Graza. So Graza is a olive oil brand, And they have this like bright but classic branding. And this sort of bright, fun, busy branding is like very in right now. And I think it fits, right? So there's one thing to be said about just going with the trends. There's another thing to be said about, does it fit the brand identity? And this comes back to the honesty thing, because I think it matters more to be honest than to be trendy. And I think you will have more lasting power with what you are creating if you aim to be honest, not trendy. And that is, in every moment that I have been given the opportunity to steer the ship or to provide input or insight, I aim to be honest over trendy. Don't go look at TikTok though. On TikTok, that's all about the trends, baby. That's what I gotta do. You just gotta do what you gotta do, right? But again, it's like finding honest moments on those trends too. But anywho, like I aim to be finding the heart of the matter in this. And I think we actually have, because I think, like I said, at the heart of what we are doing is this sense of like nostalgia and humor, like sort of warm disillusionment, right? So, yeah, this is supposed to just be the visual representation of the vibes I'm describing. Dad vibes, humor, dad jokes, something being classic. I'm thinking Taylor Swift, We Never Go Out of Style. Because look at Garfield. Once again, my green light. So, with that, let me show you. This is where we are. And, so one day I realized that it kind of looks like the hash slinging slasher. So I made that. Not on company time, though. If anyone asks, I did not do that on company time. But yeah. So do you see this too? This D? That looks printed. That too, I feel like, is kind of a vibe I love. Like, we scanned it. Like, it's printed out. We're doing things. Like, so there's the hair brand. I don't know how many people would know this that are in our... I don't know anyone. No one's tuning in. So I may as well just assume that you know. But I'll explain it too, because it helps prove my point. So there's the brand that's called Not Your Mother's. And it does hair products. And the cutesy idea is that, like, this is, like, that's like a saying. Like, this is not your mom's pesto pasta salad, right? This is not your mom's conditioner. This is not your mom's hair products, right? So it's, they're a line of hair products that are supposed to be for the new generation, right? And they're that's the whole branding. I want this to be the opposite of that. Because I think we love what came before us, right? That's why everything's on like a 30-year trend cycle. It all comes back around. So the printer look, the legacy media, that's what we're going for. So with that, we kind of talked about maybe doing more of just a text-based logo, because once again, that's what Graza kind of does. That's what a lot of the other brands, I didn't include some of the other brands we talked about in the meeting we had earlier, but rest assured, we found multiple examples of sort of this trendier trend, this new trend towards maximalism that then means, you know what, we're just going to do the word. Also, it's not lost on me the fact that Garfield's a cat. So, let's get into it. This font is classic. I do kind of want to fall down this rabbit hole today. What's fun to me about this direction, you can't see my cursor. Okay, so I like the idea of trying something that's like this patch because we wouldn't really have to do anything to the logo, to the typeface. We could supplement it and breathe new life into it in a way that I think would be kind of cool. So I'm going to try it. What's great about this font that they were already using too is it has these squared S's and like, I don't know, some of the characteristics of the letters already, like, so the R is like straighter where it would be curved in a way that an embroidery machine would do. So it almost totally fits. So I'm going to draw this line. Sort of warp it. I'm going to do type on a path tool. Don't mind if I do. I'm going to write driven catalyst. Highlight it. Boom. And all of a sudden it looks like a utility patch. Am I right? No, not at all. It doesn't look like that at all. Let me think. I'm thinking. That's the unfortunate thing about some of these design live streams is sometimes I do be having to go nonverbal. And I tippy tapping. Something that's worth thinking about too is like every single profile picture on every platform is circular. So if we do a patch, it is in our best interest to do it circular. Something tells me to, I don't think George or Remy is gonna love this direction, but I'm going to go out on a limb and just try it. That's something I'm always very grateful for, is that I sometimes can just do things and run it by them and it will be received gently, even if what they want to say is that it sucks. Sorry for that mouth sound. That was absolutely revolting. Designers. Designers, me drawing a blue circle, staring at it and going, but I have a full vision board. It's so funny. Okay. I kind of do like this font. Is this Montserrat? Yeah. I feel like I was talking about Montserrat the other day too. Just like, what can I say? I like Montserrat. There we go. Driven catalyst. This is not giving what I was hoping it would give right now. It's giving word art right now. Hey, and that's because I haven't done anything to it. How about you remember that, Riley? How about you remember that? Did you just hear my stomach? My stomach rumbled. That's sad. Hey, speaking of dads, Jim Gaffigan, the fact that he is on SNL right now because he is playing Tim Walls is like so exciting to me. I love Jim Gaffigan, and him like having sort of a recurring role on SNL is just so cool. You could say he's my inspiration because when everything first locked down back during the lockdown portion of the pandemic, he was live streaming dinner. Was it every night? I don't know. But they would call it Dinner with the Gaffigans. And his daughter Mari would play the piano. And they would sing, Dinner with the Gaffigans, Dinner with the Gaffigans. And that's kind of what I'm hoping to channel here from my desk without a family here to accompany me and no dinner in sight. I'm hoping for this to be sort of the nouveau Dinner with the Gaffigans. Okay, I need to get rid of this circle. Like, it's the circle's the problem. A little bit too. Okay, so we did play with this, and it's very Johnny Test. Johnny. My live stream is just me badly singing different songs, different jingles from other media properties. How's that? Sorry, I just like really overestimated. I really felt inspired when I saw this like utility thing, because I think that could be such a cool direction. The issue is, like, I'm imagining, and this doesn't really fit, I'm imagining the brush script, which, like, maybe this isn't the worst idea. Dinner with the Gaffigans, dinner with the... Jim, if you're watching, let me join your family. My family would be so okay with it. I mean that in a they love you too, not in a sad way. So this is a vibe. It's not the right vibe. Also, I do think, so let's take this color palette and bring it into this new concept, because I don't know if you noticed, but my whole vision board is blue, and that is not really what there's no reason for it to be blue. I do think, and maybe this is me being me, but like, what if we took shirt, like colors that would be on a rugby shirt? And I'm not just saying that because I have been loving rugby shirts this season. No, but I do think this like forest green with a cream color, that slays. And I love mixing colors like that with like, and we'll go fluorescent yellow. Look at that. Oh, like beautiful. And that's kind of what Graza does, where we've got that olivey green and then like, boom, a color, the color of those little price stickers that you're going to put on garage sale stuff, right? Like, look how delicious this is. Oh, I love that. I love it. And so then, and this works because, so this purple is reflow. And then of course we have reflow green. And then we need orange too, because Almost Funny Enough is orange. I'm playing really fast and loose with this. I'm not pulling color codes. I'm kind of just building a. So, right here we have Mr. Gaddy's, which is kind of perfect because we called it Mr. Daddy's in my household as a kid, because we are a family that mishears things chronically. I thought Star Wars was Star Wars, like an embarrassingly long amount of time. And I did not learn that it was not until at a Star Wars convention where they were going through like joke memes, which is so funny because we didn't have the language, I don't think, to call it a meme back at the time that this was. But that's what it was. They were going through a PowerPoint full of memes. Aw, that's so sweet. But one of them was a pig wearing a Jedi robe. And it said Star Wars. And like, in order for that to be a meme, in order for there to be wordplay, it means that that can't be what the original thing was called. And so then I was like, oh, much thinking to do. Just like I didn't know that like lightsabers were different from lifesavers candies for a bit. Yeah. Bad ears on me. Just bad news because I associate produced Eagle 9 Locked. Listen wherever you prefer your podcasts. I prefer mine on Spotify. So how do we feel about this color scheme? I don't hate it, but that's not how I prefer to feel about anything that I do in life. I don't hate it. It's kind of cool. What if we did this? Ooh. I like that more, but I don't think it made anything more fun. The green is kind of killing my vibe. I think realistically, That's more of the green we use. This is like not a bad vibe at all. It's not totally far off. Either. It's very like I do fear I gave a speech about not being about it being trendy. I think this is kind of maybe pretty trendy. But I'm gonna keep an eye on that. And I think like as long as you know stuff like that in design and you know what to keep an eye on, you can save yourself. Okay. I really don't think and cannot see us going for a cursive. That's definitely, nope, like not even gonna let that sit on the screen for any amount of time. I really don't think we will do a cursive, if I'm being honest. But what if we did? What if we did do that? No, I really kind of don't feel very strongly. Okay, I am kind of I totally dropped everything that in the meeting we discussed Remy liking. So I do think maybe I should consider that again. So Remy liked the sense of emotion that you get from the letters being slanted. Much to my chagrin, I don't know if I'm using that right. I don't remember what font I used on those block letters. I kind of did that a while ago. So I'm going to, it's not ideal organizationally, but I think it, in this case, is going to challenge me to take this in a direction and pursue a different font. I'm kind of just adding that font to have it on the screen. I think it is way too like 2014 graphic design a little bit even. Or at least the era that 2014 was hyperfixated on, which is not what I want to do. So, gonna keep on keeping on. Do y'all want to see my shoes? Like, this is not related. Just like I painted, it's kind of related in that like potato shoes are back. Like the Birkenstock Bostons have been super trendy, and I feel like that again falls in line kind of with like the dad mom aesthetic, like the 90s denim potato shoe vibe. So I painted mine. I used to have painted jeans in high school that I would wear, and they were so cool. But once you grow out of jeans, like that's, I don't know, then you grow out of jeans. So I grew out of them. And then I painted a new pair of jeans, but actually like vintage denim, because they were like thrifted denim jeans that I distressed and then painted. And like the paint on the denim was so stiff that they split, like not in any like revealing way, but the knee of them split in like a gross way. So I have these now, and I feel warm feelings when I wear them because they remind me of my cool high school painted jeans. Once again, kind of just giving you a feel for the vibes that I like. Maximalism, colors. I like it when things look changed in some way. Like, I like it when something looks physically scanned in to a computer, or like it's been painted on, or it's on paper that got torn, stuff like that. I think I like design that looks like the human experience has taken place in its midst. Once again, like, I tried to be silly goofy, and then I say stuff like that. I just like, oh my god, gag me. Don't like that font. Do you forgive me for making you look at it? There's nothing that wrong with it. Just like when you clear out an all caps. Sorry, I don't feel like finishing that sentence. You know what I mean. The words were written in all caps. I changed them to be a cursive font, and now the cursive is in all caps, which defeats the point of cursive, because cursive, all the letters flow together. Oh, also, while I have you all here, I'm just going to set the intention that we don't really have like office culture, but I am going to be doing a subtle Halloween thing this year. Haven't done it the 2 Halloweens prior, but this one, I'm gonna do it. And by that do it, I mean I just have a t-shirt that is like, it's like in-universe merch from like a horror movie, from Love Lies Bleeding, the Kristen Stewart horror movie that came out last year. Kristen Stewart works at a gym, and Katie O'Brien's character works out at that gym, and so the gym has like staff merch, and I have a t-shirt repping that gym, so I'm gonna wear that t-shirt on Halloween, and I'll maybe like toss over a blazer or like a sweater, dress it up a little, but just to either set the vibe of like, just so you know I'm doing this, y'all match the vibe or not, whatever, but like I'm doing it, slash, what if y'all wore costumes? What if we all were, what if we had a fun time? No, it's okay. I'm just gonna sit in my office and I'll make TikToks wearing my costume. No, it really is a costume, because not a lot of people have really seen that movie. I think it's an A24 film. And also, like, I don't know a lot of people that were the exact target audience for that movie in the same way that I was. Saying that kind of makes it, I wouldn't say I was the exact target audience for it, but I did enjoy it. I had a good time with it sometimes. At moments. I don't know. It feels like weird to... It's just a good movie. It was It was fun. I love diegetic merch. I love diegetic merch. And if you've been watching my streams, what does diegetic mean? I'm like Dora, but with really annoying liberal arts degree knowledge. And I've got kombucha and an oat milk latte in my backpack. I've never had kombucha before. I do like oat milk though. Sorry, I can't find this block font. I keep vamping too hard and losing my train of thought. Okay. I'm gonna make myself lock in. But first, let me see how much I can accomplish just copying and pasting this here and seeing what I can do with anchor points. And if I can't be productive, then I'm gonna log off the stream and make myself be productive. But I'm at least gonna give it a try first. Something that I also don't like, these kind of don't look like they fit on a straight line to me. I can't tell if it's something wrong with my eyes or if it is truly something going on with the font. Yeah. This is not the way to do it. Okay. I think I'm gonna wrap up the stream and lock in. But I hope this has been a good little... Oh, I wasn't screen sharing. I don't know for how long. But that's actually a great segue because it's time for me to pay better attention to what I'm doing. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening. As always, be sure to like and subscribe to Driven Catalyst. Follow us on TikTok. Follow us on Instagram. Look us up on Redbubble and buy lots of merch. Maybe join our Patreon for Eagle 9 Locked. And be sure to just keep tuning in on my live streams because, as is evidenced by me actually being so gleeful to have had TikTok comment exchanges today, it really is so fun. It really is so fun. And I'm eating it up and it's so much fun. And you, for the low price of 3 seconds of your life, can provide that engagement for me. Maybe comment what you're gonna go as for Halloween down below. Okay, bye. Tomorrow is Wednesday, and I will see you then.